Well, Dave, we've got lots of new partners this year.
Sir.
And guess what? Academy Sports and Outdoors is now the official sponsor of all the rigs and techniques here at the CCA Workbench.
That's good, because that's where I buy a lot of this stuff.
I know.
I
But
do.
guess what? I'm really excited about having all of this stuff.
Well,
So tell me.
we're talking about Kingfish, right? And
Yes, sir.
you know, the great thing about Kingfish, he's one of the first fish that we usually catch when we start venturing offshore, you know, because they're from the beach all the way out to blue water, you can catch a kingfish. So, you know, during the summertime, the big kingfish move up on the beach, but during the wintertime, they're all out there in 110 feet of water out on the reefs and stuff, and they can be anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds out there when they're little schooly guys. But those great big ones, you know, they like to come up on the beach around those schools of pogies or whatever bait fish you have in your area. If you find that bait, you'll be around the kingfish. And it's the same way with, you know, if you get out there and you can't find them, like I said, I was joking earlier, you know, if you look for those commercial kingfish boats, they're not hard to spot. They're, you know, they're small boats with usually have a low deck on them and a little low roof, and there's a guy standing out there doing this. You know,
what is that?
He's jerking one of these spoons. You know, Jimbo said the number 4 drone spoon. That is the Kingfish spoon, and that's a guy who's doing this for a living. You know, so he wants to catch every one he can, and he's using that. So if you get out there and you want to catch a kingfish, you're not going to go wrong if you put something like that on there. Now, obviously, you're going to have to put it on wire because, you know, king mackerel is a mackerel fish, you know, he's got sharp teeth, and he makes his living by, when he comes up on a bait, he just swims right through it at speed. They're really fast fish. You know, they got that beautiful tail, they're long, and they can move through the water. And what they do is they beeline on one bait and they just swim right through it. And what they do is they try to take the tail off and then come back around and get the head. So, you know, I was just, you know, Jimbo also mentioned the triple hook rig. This is one of those rigs that, you know, it's got 3 hooks in it, so you get down in there really good, and hopefully if he comes and eats the tail, he'll come back and hit the head and he won't be able to get away. This is, you know, this is down here in the southeast Florida. This is
as good as
this is it gets, you know, either with the jig or, like you said earlier, with just 3 hooks, you know, without the jig head, and just let it float out there. This will get you a little deeper in the water column if the fish are deeper. But if you just want to let one float out there on 3 hooks rigged just that way, it's going to be hard to beat.
Or live bait. You hook the last hook in the fish's face, a sardine or a live ballyhoo or any live bait. And then what ends up happening is the 3 hooks lay against its body as it heads down. And so when that kingfish comes up and bites it, like you said, guess what? One of those hooks is gotcha.
Well, and that's the key. You know, you got to get the gotcha, and we do that by, a lot of times we'll put a big treble hook on. You got to. I'm always thinking about wahoos too, so I'm using a 4X treble hook and like number 7 or 8 wire, a minimum for, you know, for my treble, because if I get a stinger on there, I don't want to have a number 4 and a big wahoo come up, because a 60-pound wahoo can bite through number 4 wire. It's rare, but if they get that thing right there in the trick of their jaw, they can come off. And now, if you don't want to go the bait route, if you don't want to take care of baits, I like to use a lot of bait. But I still, even if I have 4 baits out, I always have one of these plugs out, either a nice Rapala trolling lipped plug or one of these Cairn swimmers, you know, like the old Boone's Cairn swimmer. That's a Yozuri style. And those things just make all kinds of noise, and fish love to eat them. They'll even come up in your prop wash and eat those things, especially a big wahoo will come up and eat those. So those are also great. Now, if you're going to be pulling baits, you know, you can pull a naked ballyhoo. I went last Sunday and I pulled all kinds of stuff. The only thing that I caught a kingfish on all day was the naked ballyhoo. But, you know, we always dress them up usually. We always have a lot of dark color stuff out there, black and purples. This is got a long shank hook on it to try to keep the bait further back. And plus I've got a stinger on it too. Right. So this is for a big ballyhoo. This would be one of my big wahoo things that I run on a shotgun way back and try to pick up that guy who's hanging way back in the back. If you want to, you can also use cable. You know, a lot of guys catch big wahoos and kingfish on high-speed lures like this, running them on cable. If you've got to go 20 miles out in the morning, you can run a wide range at 12 knots and still get kingfish and wahoo bites on the wide range with cable. So, you know, fast is good for king mackerels too. Everybody says, oh, you have to go fast for wahoos.
The only reason to go fast is to eliminate the barracuda.
Exactly, and they'll eat going slow or fast.
That's right.
They will. So
I think Bree eats going slow or fast, right, Bree?
I eat a lot these days.
Look how happy she is.
However I can get
I
it.
eat a lot these days.
I love guys.